Hello, my name is Ray Guy, and welcome back. You remember the video we did about lesbian space witches? Apparently, they got cancelled. Why don't we delve inside and see why? I can already give my opinion as to why, and I'm gonna give it right now. Well, it's pretty simple. What happens when you have a bunch of Sith Lords who just sit around talking about their fucking feelings instead of doing what they're supposed to do, which is fighting Jedi and being the Empire's bitches? At some point, you get really bored when the Sith Lords are not like Darth Vader. This isn't Dr. Phil, man. We don't want to hear you talking about your goddamn feelings. But hey, let's jump into a few of it. We're gonna explore a bit. I want to hear multiple people's opinions on this today.
Yeah, here's another. What if the Acolyte was just bad? If people like me...
And as always, in anybody's videos I use for my reactions, I want to promote their channels. So, Star Wars Theory, the Acolyte Cancellation Backlash. If you like his opinions, please follow his channel, because I'm going to use his video in mine.
Me and YouTubers and whatnot have the power to cancel a show, then don't... Yeah, here's another. What if the Acolyte was just bad? If people like me and YouTube...
That's a good point. What if the show was just bad? I mean, it was just bad. The show was just kind of rough. Now, I will give the Acolyte one good point. Is their battles were pretty cool when they actually happened. Now, if they spent more time on that rather than talking about their fucking feelings, it might have been a good show. But I digress.
YouTubers and whatnot have the power to cancel a show, then don't we have the power to make shows as well? All right, well, where's my Darth Vader show? Why wasn't the Kenobi show done?
Yeah, I 100% agree right now. Where's my Darth Vader show? I want to see more Darth Vader. Like, he only comes in at certain points, and when he does, it's fucking badass when he does. We need more Vader, man. We need that Sith Lord. That love of the fucking battle that Darth Vader gives. Like, whenever Darth Vader walks into a room, he's just like, shit's going down. You got to admit, every time Darth Vader just pops up, you know shit's going down. There's no fucking feelings, no fucking bullshit. You know shit's going down.
Well, why are there so many problems in Star Wars? What happened with the Boba Fett show? Right, so if we have the power to destroy something, we have the power to make something too, but clearly that's not the case. It's all about numbers, and many of us were told not to watch the show because, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's exactly what we did.
Well, no, I disagree with that. You should always try to watch something and then build your opinion on it. Otherwise, then you're just going to be another one of these weirdos on Twitter that are just boasting your opinion on it. I watched it. It bored me. However, the lightsaber battles were pretty fucking sick. But at the same time, they were good in the movies too. And the movies were way more entertaining than this hot garbage.
And you know what? Now it's canceled.
Fulfill your destiny. TheorySabers.com
Ooh, yeah, this, the aftermath always gets interesting. You never really know what you get with it. But I'm here to talk about something on both sides of the fandom. I don't really want to drag this on too long, but, I have something to say on both sides. On the first side, people like myself who absolutely despise The Acolyte think it's quite possibly the most horrible, poorly written project show that's ever come out.
Alright, I wouldn't say despise, but it is very poorly written. I'll agree with that one.
In history, especially for Star Wars, I have to say that, yeah, I'm happy that this is no longer getting a season 2. But I guess I'm a grifter and I just want to talk about how bad it is, so wouldn't I want a season 2 if that's the case? Anyways, continuing on to the main subject here. I see a lot of people that are doing the same thing that happened with the prequel trilogy. They are just going after the actors. And listen, I don't like Leslie Headland. I don't like Amanda Stenberg. She's been calling fans racist for a while. She just released that stupid rap video.
That's a big thing, though. Like, when the actors go after the fan base for disliking the content and then going straight to the race card, that's some badass shit. That's bad, man. Like, you have to take some accountability for the fact that your acting is subpar. It's not that people are racist. Especially when you make a rap video attacking the fan base. Like, you kind of just sign yourself up for backlash at that point. Like, if you can't take accountability for your mistakes, then, well, people are gonna be people. People are fucking crazy, man.
Was horrible and just literally calling anybody who didn't like The Acolyte a racist. I think that kind of behavior is just so P-minded and so ridiculous. And it's honestly just like the weakest scapegoat that at this point it's losing any sort of value when you say that to someone, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's just your argument again.
100%. I have the same opinion as this guy does. Like, if you're going to play the victim card every time someone doesn't like what you're doing, then it doesn't have any seriousness. And we just do the same thing, like, all right, whatever, dude.
Okay, cool, you're pulling that. And even so, I'd really like to say, hey, I think the best way is to not repeat the past, what they did with Hayden and Ahmed and the prequel trilogy. Even though those guys never attacked fans, even though those guys weren't assholes to fans, they had no part in it. They were just actors. Right? They were doing their job. The same goes here. I'd say leave the actors out of it. If you really want to express your anger,
we're going to get to that in a minute. But, like, it's different when you take it off the platform or off the content, and then you make a rap video telling the fans that they're fucking racist, biggest assholes. I mean,
anger, I would express it towards the writing of this show. Not necessarily the people behind it, but how shitty the writing is, how they've interjected so much garbage and politics and agendas, how the writing for the characters in and of themselves, even outside of Star Wars, was horrible. How the set design, the costumes, all that stuff, go into detail on how trash that was. That, I think, is a much better argument. Because here's what it does. When you go after the actors and you get ugly like that, it does two things. First of all, it's not very nice. Okay? So,
no, I completely agree with this guy. At the end of the day, if you don't like something, never go after the actors. It does become a different story when the actors actually come back at you. But at the same time, I kind of understand it. Like, if someone's coming at you, you're going to come back at them, right? But, like, that whole rap video was so cringe, though. Regardless, though, I think you and I, all of us need to be a little bit better when it comes to not liking stuff. And I know I this in the worst possible way. I'm sorry, bro.
Too wrong.
Okay, there we go. But I really got to comment on this. If you don't like something, stop being unhinged about it. You don't need to attack the creators. You don't need to attack the actors. Like he said, sometimes it is the writing. But at the same time, when the actor takes it aside the writing and then goes after the fan base, well, unfortunately, you get you receive what you put out. It, like if you just were like, all right, well, shit, man, I didn't like what I was doing. No, she was like, nah, fuck this. I'm gonna make a rap video about how racist these assholes are, and it was just like, yeah, well, unfortunately, that's what happens when you do shit like that. You're gonna get a response, consequences to your actions, right?
Wrongs don't make a right, right? When they're doing it to us, it's two wrongs don't make a right. An eye for an eye makes the world blind. The second thing is that it just allows for an easy way out for the people who are looking, because they know you're spitting facts. They know you have points against the show. And whether they want to defend it or not, they're going to completely disregard any facts you might have and your argument towards, the lore of the show or what within Star Wars, and be like, oh, see what he's doing? He said this and this and this. Cancel him. Or she said that and that and that against the actors. They're a horrible person. And it completely derails. So first of all, it's not very nice. Don't have to stoop to their level when they're doing it, when the actors are doing it. And second of all, and most times not, I don't feel like many of them do, but some who do, or yeah, they're assholes, and I don't like them. But I also don't think that it's best to just go after them. Just, a dog's barking at you, let the dog bark, whatever. But in this case, I think it's best that if you really want to shit on this show, just make it be known that, hey, yeah, this is garbage because of these reasons, and give your reasons. That's why I say always eloquently give your reasons, man. Respectfully give your reasons, because it's just a much more elite way of going about things, and it gets your point across. There's no derailment whatsoever. I always remembered this when I was a kid. An eye for an eye makes the world.
I gotta pause it here. Sorry. In most cases, when you're dealing with an unreasonable person, unfortunately, giving your point of view doesn't always work. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but in my experience, dealing with unreasonable people, it usually doesn't go down that way.
World blind. And Gandhi said that, and I believe it, because there have been many times in my life where I've just constantly kind of stooped to the same level because I was hurt or I was feeling pain, and I just ended up doing the same thing back. And it's just this cycle, man. And so you just cut the cycle and get to facts, get to points. So that's that. Leave the actors out of it, even though some of them are complete assholes. I agree. They're not very nice to fans, but let them wallow in their own pity.
No, I completely agree with that. Keep the actors out of the fucking show. Unless... No, I'm going to stick to my guns. Unless they actually start going after the fans, you have a responsibility, no matter what job you're doing, to be professional. It'd be like if we decided to start going after the people that disagreed with us and went on a campaign against them. There's a level of responsibility that you have when you're in a place like that where you can't just do shit like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people disagree with me. But that's what I fucking think. You can't just get upset and then call everybody a bunch of fucking names. That's fucked up, man.
Let them be in that mindset, and that's very sad for them. Maybe one day they'll progress in this life and they'll try to understand, hey, you know what, maybe the show's just shit. Maybe I could have handled things a little bit better. Maybe I didn't have to attack fans. Absolutely, there are racist fans and there are assholes and all that out there.
No, that's a good point too. There are 100% a lot of racist fucking weirdos out there. They're on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure that actor definitely got a lot of shit from those guys too. And we need to call those people out as well.
Every side of the fandom, every side of life, every walk of life. But that doesn't mean that that's the majority. There are weird people, crazy people everywhere. Now, on the other side of this video, I also want to talk about the absolute psychopaths who are in love with this show and writing things like, anyone who is happy about this, I wish your family death, I hope you die, I'm sending a curse on you. I'm seeing a lot of that on Twitter, on X.
Yeah, this is one of my biggest things. If you disagree with somebody, wishing death or any ill will on that person that you disagree with, you think that's, maybe you think it's harassment, but then you go and you do shit like this where you DDoS, dox, fucking threaten their fucking life and all this shit. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you, man? Like, you can be mad, you can be upset. That's a normal human ass behavior. But the second you take it to that level, because someone doesn't like a TV show that you like, or they don't agree with your opinion, and now you gotta fucking go after them, I think maybe you need to take a good long look at the mirror and be like, am I okay? Wishing death on somebody over something so minor is ridiculous. Grow the fuck up. It's a TV show.
And I just really think that that is just ridiculous. This is one, for example, that popped up, me in the Disney headquarters after they canceled The Acolyte, even though it was actually very popular. I can assume that this is a joke, but it's just not funny when you're talking about walking into a headquarter, walking into a place of business, walking to anywhere, and pointing a gun at people because you didn't like how they handled your media. That is just unhinged. And I've seen so many different things. I'm trying to find the freaking tweet. I didn't engage with it whatsoever, otherwise I could have found it. But I just thought it was like horrible that these people are just so full of hatred for anybody who did not like this show that they want to now go and kill anyone who is happy about the canceling of this show. Look at this one, for example. The Acolyte being canceled is just another example of toxic internet hate. The show never got a chance to breathe, and half the people hating on it never even watched an episode. It's not my favorite piece of Star Wars content, but it certainly didn't deserve to be axed. Well, it doesn't matter what deserves or doesn't deserve to be axed in your eyes. For Disney, it's all about money. It's all about views. If something is...
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, doesn't matter how many people watched it. It didn't make enough money to continue on. It doesn't matter if it was popular or not. Oh, I mean, yes. Fuck, I just said the dumbest thing ever. It wasn't popular enough to continue on to a second season because not enough people were watching. It didn't make enough money. At the end of the day, that's business, right? A lot of people are doing this mental gymnastic bullshit. And they want to blame... They want to blame incels or whatever the fuck they want to blame. At the end of the day, the show just wasn't entertaining. It was a bad show. I could give off reasons as to why, and I think I have given off reasons as to why in a previous video. And I'm sure I'm going to give more reasons as to why I didn't like it. Well, let's continue. I actually really like this guy's point of view. He's a very calm, intelligent person. I really like watching him.
It's not profitable. They're not going to spend another $180 to $200 million of their money on something that makes no
it's
return.
Logic.
This was a dump for them. This wasted their money. They're going to write it off most likely. I don't know, I assume. But they're not going to go and renew this for a season 2. They'd be insane. It was the worst rated, worst watched show for Star Wars in history. I mean, when you're sitting at you're a boardroom executive and you're handling the finances and you're handling, where does this company go next? Are we going to dump our cash into something that really isn't going to give us any sort of return?
There it is. Level-headed, logical thinking from a logical person.
Not only that, but it's also going to destroy our fan base and alienate them so they won't even come back for other things like merchandise or supporting some of the other shows and movies that come out because they're done. It's not even like you release a bad project once. You literally piss people off and alienate them. That's really bad. And you're spending money to do that. Holy crap, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you alienate your audience, they're not going to come back. Like, who wants to be told they're a racist, bigot asshole and then go watch your TV show? It's ludicrous to even think that's a thing that would happen. What, you think you're going to just get us upset and then hate watch your show? No. Just make a good show. I'll watch it. It's pretty simple. It's like 2 plus 2. Don't tell me it's 5 because it's 4. Don't insult my intelligence and produce crap and then get upset when I don't eat your crap.
That's suicide, company suicide, essentially. And if I'm not wrong, it was all of the Acolyte fans who encouraged everyone who talked poorly about the show to not watch. And that's literally what happened. People literally took the advice from Acolyte fans who said, don't watch the show if you don't like it, and now the show is canceled.
No, I took that advice to the opposite. I watched the show. I didn't like it. There were so many points where the lightsaber battles were fucking epic, man. Like, they had a good design going on for having good battles, but like there was so much of the story and that was so fucking boring. Like, nobody wants to watch Sith Lords sit around a room and talk about their fucking feelings. This isn't a show of Dr. Phil, man. Like, go do your job. This is Star Wars. Go zap some Jedi. Do some shit, man.
Canceled because they didn't watch, because they didn't like it. It almost seems like we're living in some sort of a weird dictatorship where if you don't get what you want, then you should have been made to sit in front of the TV and watch it for this show, for example. And I have a real problem with that. Like, look, like this tweet, man. I got a million views. That's crazy. Remember, the critics had nothing to do with the cancellation of The Acolyte. Only analytics, metrics, corporate interests, and most of all, viewership did. The show failed because it betrayed the brand and put an agenda before legacy, characters, and sincere storytelling. Absolutely true. They had a show that was really poorly written. It didn't go anywhere. The characters were unbelievably ridiculous. Not only that, but they jangled keys like Plagueis and Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and they shouldn't have ever done such a thing. They then went in and destroyed a whole bunch of canon from George Lucas where he said that Sith weren't supposed to show up for 1,000 years. And all of a sudden now we're supposed to make logic of this. And this is supposed to be okay. Wow, these tweets are pretty bad, man. 4 years ago, Leslie Headland deleted 250 tweets bashing white men the day before Disney announced her show. She hired writers that would never even seen Star Wars, a fake Trekkie, and...
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to start off a series, you're already turning your series into a racism thing. It's not going to do well, man. It almost seems like these people want racism back. It's just, they want their turn with the whip.
She'd make the Acolyte woke. Leslie Headland's failure is now complete. You want to read some of those comments to her?
And they're getting reactions out of a lot of people. But it seems like this is exactly what they want. They want reactions out of people like me and you. Like, this is our entertainment now. Welcome to the world we live in now, where we make TV shows to get reactions out of the people you want to watch your show. And then get surprised when they don't watch your show. Or they just get tired of reacting to it too. Now you don't have reactions, you don't have views, you don't have anybody, you have nothing. Congratulations.
Her tweets, which are now...
I'm not a racist, but white people aren't bad. Remember, white men bad. Oh boy. But at the same time, you got to admit though, we most sane people do not entertain this level of insanity by the people that post this shit. I mean, I could pick a ton of comments that I've received in the last like fucking 3 months of insane people doing shit like this. They're the loud minority. They're insane, but like they don't really do anything to affect anything.
Unavailable. Go ahead. Damn, and it seems like Amanda Stenberg's diss track actually damaged the Acolyte's reputation with audiences. Hollywood.
Damn. Imagine if you make a diss track for your fucking fan base and it damages your reputation. Okay. Last I checked, if you talk shit about somebody, they probably won't like you.
Knows attacking the fans hurts them, they just can't resist it. It was an easy target, in quotes, said one source of the back.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of people like being talked down to. I don't know if that's something that resonates with insane people, but we don't like being talked down to.
And fourth's connection to the show's cancellation and hurt the public perception of the show. It definitely did. I mean, when you do something like that, you know, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that are racist, and, you know, it's horrible that we still live in a...
No. And he's completely right. There are definitely people that are genuinely racist. And have you ever been in a room with someone that is genuinely racist? It's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
Time where that exists, and homophobes exist, and all of that, sexism and all this shit exists, but at the same time, that's not everybody, right? That's a minority, I would feel like. I think most people just judge you based on you being a nice person or not. The Acolyte wasn't canceled because it's woke.
Most sane human beings judge you on your character. I know that's a thing lost in time. Most sane human beings will judge you based on how you act and how you treat other people, based on your character, based on how you think.
Or because of incels, it was canceled because of the lowest viewed Star Wars show in Disney Plus, and it cost a fortune to make. Absolutely.
Yeah, and people love the word. They love to throw the word incel around. I don't think a lot of people actually understand what incel actually means. They just like to use the word every time a man says something against a woman, and like, oh, you're an incel. Criticism is not being an incel. If you don't like something, doesn't mean you're an incel. If you like something, doesn't mean you're a simp. This ridiculousness of using buzzwords in extreme situations, you're limiting the power that word has.
Right. Here's another. What if the Acolyte was just bad? If people like me and YouTubers and whatnot have the power to cancel a show, then don't we have the power to make shows as well? All right. Well, where's my...
I don't think anybody has the power to cancel anything. I know there's a lot of loud people that do anything. I don't think you or anybody else has that much power, especially about 3.3 mil. I mean, hey, that's a lot of power, but not enough to actually do any damage.
My Darth Vader show? Why wasn't the Kenobi show done well? Why are there so many problems in Star Wars? What happened with the Boba Fett show? Right, so if we have the power to destroy something, we have the power to make something too, but clearly that's not the case. It's all about numbers, and many of us were told not to watch the show because, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's exactly what we did, and you know what? Now it's canceled. Hey, I'm seeing tons of this. I love how people are blaming toxic Star Wars fans for the Acolyte being canceled when the final episode of the series was the reportedly...
Oh, they love throwing the word toxic around. Remember, if you don't like something, you're toxic. Again, taking the power away from the word.
Lowest viewed of any Star Wars show. Again, man, just look at the views. Look at the audience score here, 18%, and the tomato meter was 78%. This is what, like 50 people or 100 people? 300 people voted on the tomato meter, and then this is in the, what, 10,000s? Maybe even more. It's just ridiculous shite like this. Star Wars content has been the same boring blaster pew-pew media for years, and we finally get a show diving into Jedi Sith lore, and y'all get it canceled because the lead isn't a white man. No, it's because the show was shit and poorly written. I mean, Ahsoka...
Yeah. I'm going to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off. Fuck you and this fucking victimized bullshit about us not caring about the skin color of the characters. The only people that care about this stuff are you. We don't care. As long as the show's good, the games are good, the characters are well played, we don't give a fuck about the skin color. The only people that do are you. At the end of the day, all they ever hear are a bunch of fucking weirdos talking shit about the people who don't like the show, and the first thing that comes to their goddamn fucking mind is skin color. We don't like a show because it's bad. And then you walk in and you're like, well, what? Because he's black? Shut the fuck up, man. Jesus Christ. No. And at the end of the day, it's so useless to try to explain that to somebody that comes in and says that kind of shit. Because they're mentally insane. They have no process in their brain. Their entire fucking personality is about hating on skin color. They have nothing else to view in their entire world because their head's so far up their fucking ass. They can't see anything more than shit. It's so exhausting dealing with people like this. You don't like a character because they have X skin color? No, I don't like the character because the character sucked. It has nothing to do with skin color. There are plenty of white people I fucking hate. Oh crap, I did that. Point is though, it's not about the skin color, man. Being hyper focused on skin color is like this weird, fucked up obsession that you have in your fucking head. I need to get this shit out of your head.
For example, and hey, that got a season 2. The Kenobi show. Lead was, well, 2 white men. Well, you know what, actually, I don't even think Kenobi was the lead in his own show. I think it was Reva. So, hey, even there you go. Reel me that one. So, I mean, just scrolling under this one, there's just a few here that I found. Check it out. F. Disney, F. Lucasfilm, F. Dave Filoni, F. Jon Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy. It's just... oh, I didn't see my name in there. F Star Wars Theory, F Incels, F Grogu, F all of you. Well, that's wild. I'm never going to effing go to bat for Star Wars again. Absolutely atrocious when this show was going viral every single day on
no
here.
one was asking
and
you
had
to.
multiple renew campaigns by the fans. They've shown where their priorities lie, and it's in continually catering to a crowd of toxic incels. Fully disagree with this.
So people are upset that the market is correcting itself and people don't want to watch something they don't want to watch. And then they get upset and call them whatever the fuck they're toxic incels just because they're not entertained by your show? Can someone please explain this level of thinking to me? So, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But if you don't watch it, then you're an asshole. What? Am I taking crazy pills here? Like, if I don't want to watch something, then... like, I don't even comment on it if I don't like it, unless it it becomes like this. Then I gotta talk about it because it's like, holy shit, dude, what is up with these people, man? How many TV shows are out there right now? How many movies are out there? Do we have time to watch them all? No. Do we have time to give a fuck about most of them? No. We only care about the ones that are actually good. Your show got canceled because nobody gave a fuck about it. You think like 2 million people out of the fucking 50 million people that were potentially your audience? Alright. My brain's melting right now.
Their priorities aren't to cater to any side of the fandom. Their priority is in their pockets. Whatever makes them more money, they're going to go for that. And so far, they've thought catering to one side of the fandom, people who like The Acolyte, people who like hit shows like Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett, and that kind of writing is what they've been trying to cater to. Then, when they try to cater to good storytelling, they get shows like The Mandalorian, which pretty much all across the board, except for season 3, brought Star Wars up. And that's really what they need to be focusing on, is catering to a good story and not any side of the fandom or even their pockets. When you detach yourself from the outcome of anything is when you do the best you can. The Acolyte being canceled makes me want to wage war on everything that white boys love. They couldn't let the series exist without war on it. So the movies and shows they like.
I mean, go for it. What are you gonna do? Ruin more TV shows? Alright, we just won't watch them then. Fuck.
Deserve the same treatment. Yeah, that's already happened to a lot of people by getting the Acolyte. That's like punishment enough. And the Kenobi show, which had our 2 most favorite characters, Anakin and Obi-Wan, in there, and Darth Vader, and they just shat the bed on that. And then Book of Boba Fett. I mean, they ruined Boba Fett as well.
Yeah, if you want to do that, just hire Amber Heard. She likes to shit on things.
It's like the annihilation of every male character, essentially. Look at it. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, Darth Vader makes stupid decisions, can't even go around a fire, for example. Mandalorian gets sidelined pretty much in his own show as well in season 3. And then with the Acolyte, it's like, you had Soul, which was in the beginning kind of a compelling character, and then he just withered into nothing and died. And that was also his fault. He couldn't just let her kill him, murder him for nothing. They had to have him not say it's okay as she's murdering him so that she could have that moment. He didn't let her have that moment, according to Leslie Headland in an interview. It's wild to me, man. It's wild. Anyways, there's a crap ton more like this out there, and if you come across any more, tweet them at me, let me know. I don't check Twitter very often. I kind of just upload my stuff and I bounce, and I don't really engage in much back and forths. I used to, but I just got too much going on right now with the Sabres, and I'm really trying to grow that company, and there's so much that needs to be handled for it. It is growing astronomically, so my focus is on that. My focus is on making videos and also growing Comic Theory, which is my comic book channel that I run with my friend Nick, and just having fun making content. So if you guys see anything, feel free to tag me. No promises, I'll respond. But if you want the cliff notes for this video, I think that we shouldn't be attacking actors, and I also think that we shouldn't be attacking anyone who dislikes or likes the show. The show didn't get renewed, and that is out of every one of our hands, and only in the real power at Disney, which is those boardroom executives. And those are the ones that call the shots and green light shows. Not even Leslie Headland has that power. It's really up to them. It's not up to us. Not enough people watch the show, and that's a direct indication of the show not being liked, not being Star Wars, and therefore not getting renewed for a season 2 at $180 million plus. Hope you all have a great day. Be respectful to everyone out there. And if you don't like something, always just say your points, speak your mind, and be eloquent, be classy, James Bond style, as much as you can. Sometimes some people need a good F off. Just leave the actors out of it, and for the most part, just get your points across by the poor writing of the show. Love you guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. May the force be with you, always.
Man. All right. I like that guy. I'm gonna subscribe and like. I liked a lot of his points. The one thing that I do disagree with, though, is not quite disagree with. Yeah, leave the actors out. But if anybody throws rocks, man, don't throw rocks whenever you live in a glass house. Leave the actors alone. If they've never done anything against you, but I mean, if you're gonna make a rap video like that, you kind of sign yourself up for what's gonna happen after that. Just like you and I sign us up for whenever we put our opinions out here, especially when we put our opinions against the actors. Anything that comes our way, you sign yourself up for it. However, that was a great video. And sorry, Siri. I appreciate it. Like and subscribed. On to the next one.
Fulfill your destiny. Theory Sabers.
Wait, we won? Hang on. I wanted to watch this one. We'll watch the We Won one after. The Acolyte sees the finale scores. Lower Star Wars ratings, Cosmic Book News. Okay.
The power of many. The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
Nerderotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions in the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. In a week where Mark Hamill has used Star
Hey,
Wars as a
congrats.
platform to tell a sizable portion of the fandom to fuck off twice.
May the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself.
And my message to MAGA, go force yourself.
And all this happened within a year that's been pretty bad for Disney Star Wars. Well, things just got worse for them, but much better for humanity. Because I thought I was out, but they keep pulling me back in. The Acolyte's back in the news. Because it turns out it wasn't a very good idea to hire former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, to head a Star Wars show. And then give the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, $180 million to actually make.
I don't like talking about people's appearances, but like, it's just a stereotype. It just keeps happening. It's always people like this. Like the most, they have to be different in some way. Fuck. Shave the side of your head. Ah, crap. Oh boy, alright.
Former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland. $180 million to actually make it. Turns out it probably wasn't a good idea to attack the fans before the show even came out. And I would say at the very
I was gonna say, do you ever just look at somebody and be like, now I kind of know why they're upset. Now I know why they're out here doing all this crazy ass shit.
least, it was ill-advised to let anybody creatively involved with this show, especially the adult pretenders, to talk to anybody at all.
Yes.
Although I do appreciate their
Yes.
honesty, because it was indeed the gayest Star Wars ever made.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest.
And it turns out the most ill-advisable thing of all was actually releasing the
Oh, be careful, you might incite the incels.
show. And then the world got to see former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, take George Lucas's lore on 8 separate trips to Harvey's private suite, where it became the living embodiment of the South Park meme.
Put another gay diverse woman in it. Make it more fun.
Fires in space, communist lesbian space witches, conceiving identical twins played by the same actress exactly the same way, more lesbians in space, inappropriate Jedi-Padawan relations, Jedi-abetes, and a bad guy.
Yeah, I remember. I think this is one thing people forgot. Appropriating Jedi children relationships. I don't know. Maybe sexualizing 16-year-old girls in the Star Wars universe is normal? I don't know. Still seems fucking weird as fuck.
Straight out of the worst kind of fan fiction. Watching Disney Star Wars commit Mary suicide was glorious because I got some good news and I got some bad news. We'll start with the bad news because I feel a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of YouTubers suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened, and it has. The Acolyte's been canceled. But then there's the good news. The Acolyte's been canceled. This crime against imagination that committed creative genocide being cut down is a massive win for the fandom, for all things good, and humanity. Deadline exclusive, The Acolyte canceled. No season 2 for D+'s Disney Star Wars series. And no, there is no Star Wars that died in 2012. There's only Disney Star Wars. The story of The Acolyte will not continue, with Lucasfilm opting not to proceed with the...
Oh man, I'm gonna lose my Lesbian Space Witch soap opera. Fuck.
second season of the Disney Star Wars offshoot starring Amanda Stenberg, sources tell Deadline. Word of the decision comes more than a month after the 8-episode first and last season of the series from creator, director, executive producer, showrunner, and former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, wrapped its run on D+. I have to give Deadline credit on this one. They're being far more realistic about the canceling of The Acolyte, far more than their comrades in the Access media who will be coping for the next week. The news is not entirely surprising. Well, it is and it isn't. In a normal reality, of course this show would be canceled.
It's not really surprising, though. How would it be? Nobody liked the show. The writing was bad. It's like if you took a bunch of badasses and put them in a fucking room and talked about their feelings, people would get bored. This is Star Wars, not Dr. Phil.
But we don't live in that world. Normally, D+ would give this a season 2, and God, I was hoping it would, but unfortunately, #renew The Acolyte failed. The Acolyte did okay with critics with 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's more than okay. Don't try to absolve yourself from that.
Yeah, so one thing I've learned over the years is never listen to the critics or the reviewers. Now, the journalists are like the dumbest. No, sorry, correct. I'm going to correct myself there. They're not dumb. They're smart because they're taking the money. The journalists are the enemy. They take money from these companies and they produce reviews based on whatever the companies tell them to do. Journalists are the scum of the world. You think we're bad? Nah, bro. Look at IGN.
This, but divided Star Wars fans, which reflected in its overall viewership. Might want to check your math on that one, because Divided is an 18% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, a 4.1% score on IMDb,
that's so
and a
bad.
3.9% user score on Metacritic. All your
It's almost like the journalists were wrong. No way.
trailers getting ratioed and clips from the actual show showing up on X Twitter and getting roasted to the tune of millions of impressions. If by divided you mean overwhelming majority hated it, sure. Driven by the
Do you remember when IGN was trying to have a whole fucking campaign against having YouTubers not review games? Like they wanted to monopolize on the fucking bullshit? Yeah. That's the thing that happened. We're still here, motherfuckers.
interest into this venerable franchise, which is a testament to what George Lucas created, because Disney Star Wars has been crap for a decade. The Acolyte got off to a strong start when it launched June 4th, with 2 episodes generating 4.8 million views in its first day on the streamer, to rank as the biggest series premiere on D+ this year. Most of them
Dang,
being
bro.
YouTubers, but
How'd
the
that
Acolyte
go?
could not sustain the momentum, dropping out of the top
Ooh.
10 in week 3 and staying off before returning to number 10 after the release of the finale, 335 million minutes viewed, believed to be the lowest for a Disney Star Wars series finale ever. You know, maybe that diss track directed at Star Wars fans from a manless Stenberg probably wasn't a very good idea either. That inevitable cope I was speaking about with the Access Media has already started with Variety. The Acolyte is dead. Ah, that sounds great, doesn't it? Disney Star Wars series won't return for season.
I mean, any TV show never wanted to die. I want it to be good. But if it's gonna suck, then yeah, it should probably die. I mean, any entertainment should not progress if it's not entertaining.
Season 2. While Deadline said it wasn't a surprise the Acolyte got canceled, Variety says initially it was a shock. The news comes at once as a shock.
Oh, you're shocked? After you demonize your entire audience and you have your main actor do a rap video against incels and literally shakes her ass in a video, so now you demonize not only the main audience, now you demonize the parents that potentially want to probably show their kids that fucking show. And sorry, but most parents don't want their kids to watch a fucking chick twerking on camera. I don't know where you came from, but most parents don't want children watching porn. Oh, twerking's not porn. Yeah, shut the fuck up, it is. What are you talking about? You're shaking your ass in fucking tight jeans. It might as well be porn. Jesus Christ.
Given how much the season 1 finale ended on a cliffhanger and teased several plot lines for a season 2. To be fair, it is a bit of a shock that Disney canceled a show led by a gay woman starring a non-binary person of color. And not so much of a surprise given the widely opposing.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Nobody gives a fuck if you're gay. But the second you weaponize it against other people, don't be shocked when you get pushed back. It's pretty simple, really. If you're going to use something against other people as a weapon, don't be shocked when they pick up their own weapon and turn it on you too. Because fuck you, that's why. What, you thought you were just gonna weaponize your sexuality against everybody and we would just sit down and fucking take it? You wanna talk shit, you're gonna get hit. Don't throw fucking rocks. When you live in a glass house, it's pretty fucking simple. If you do, don't be shocked when that shit crumbles around you.
Reception from the fans and the less than robust viewership that appeared to drop off after the series premiere in June. Some critics and fans, sorry, you misspelled fan, loved how the show challenged.
Hell, I'll give an even simpler one. Don't dish it if you can't fucking take it.
The traditional perception of the Jedi as infallible and wholly virtuous. Other fans, however, the ones who were correct, felt that those creative choices were antithetical to the good versus evil nature of Star Wars storytelling and strongly objected to the show's expansion, sorry, you misspelled desecration, of the mythology of the Force. And you know,
if you want to write a story that is completely different than the one you're trying to tell, just write your own story. I know it's simple, and I know the reason why these people do this is they want to take popular IPs and change it and use the goodwill that those IPs have in order to promote whatever weird shit they want to tell in their stories. Because they know if they write their own stories, it's going to fucking slop. It's going to suck. Because their storytelling sucks. Congratulations, now you've used How many more IPs do you got left? How many more is it gonna take before you realize maybe you should just write your own shit? I'm not sure how many more IPs there are, but I'm sure you'll find a way to use them. Because you have no creativity, you have no storytelling ability, and that's why you use popular IPs to try to switch shit up.
No, it couldn't be an Access Media article without them insinuating that it's your fault. The Acolyte was also review bombed, an insidious practice most often employed as a form of digital protest against inclusive casts centered around actors of color and LGBTQ, whereas the plus bigot characters. Despite these objections, the Acolyte also captured a great deal of positive reactions, especially surrounding the reveal of Manny Jacinto, a scene in which Jacinto...
Yeah, positive reactions for people that didn't even watch your shit. Just people that wanted to have an opinion on it. Okay. Are opinions profitable now? Because I feel like I could cash in on that at this point.
Jacinto disrobes along a rocky coastline as a tactic to seduce Osha to the dark side, garnered a great deal of attention, spawning legions of thirst posts on social media. And so ends the saga of the Acolyte, a failure so epic it was too big for Disney to ignore, yet they will ignore all the lessons that they could learn from this disaster, including but not limited to thirst posts don't equal views. You can't lie yourself into a success, even if it's with the help of your comrades in the Access Media. Remember this one? All the backlash aside, The Acolyte is actually a Star Wars success story. Despite the naysayers, The Acolyte is pulling in viewers faster than the Millennium Falcon on a Kessel Run. Or this from Wired, The Acolyte is the long-awaited death of review bombing. Oh, maybe all the money Disney wasted on the positive review bombing. And my personal favorite from Collider, The Acolyte continues to dominate streaming charts.
It's ironic.
And for the crowd who says we shouldn't talk about any of this stuff or cover it or review it because it only helps, well, I give you just the latest but possibly most shining example of why that isn't true. Because The Acolyte's been canceled. But it wasn't canceled because of critics or YouTubers. It was canceled.
No. For the first time, it was canceled just because the show fucking sucked. It had nothing to do with anybody grouping up against it. It wasn't the incels. It wasn't anybody else other than the fact that your product just kind of sucked a bag of dick. And maybe having your main actor spurg out and freak out probably didn't do very well for your product. Just saying, man. Nobody caused your show to fall other than yourself. You produced a subpar product, subpar story, and your main character just decided to be like, hey, fuck everybody else, I'm gonna do a fucking Torkin video. I'm surprised nobody was on board with this.
Because of the fans. They spoke up because Disney Star Wars once again.
And you know what? For the first time, they're right. It was exactly about the fans. Because the fans were not there. They were not watching. You're right. You're completely right. It's completely on the fans because nobody wanted to buy into this hot garbage. We were watching something else.
Again, betrayed everything about George Lucas's Star Wars. They prioritized the message over character and good storytelling, and that fails
George
every
Lucas's
single
Star Wars
time.
wasn't that great either.
Admittedly, it's a bummer we're not going to get any more YouTube videos about.
I could only imagine what they were going to do with season 2, man. It would have been... Ooh. Fuck, there would have been so much more content. Fuck.
this show because they were fantastic, but in the end, it's a win for the fandom. Take your victory lap. You earned it.
Nerdrotic.com.
I wouldn't call it a win. I mean, we had to deal with like an entire couple years with a show like that. I wouldn't call that a win. Anyway. Do we... Fuck. Alright, let's see what people got to say on Twitter. We'll do that for the last little bit. It's already been 60 minutes. Okay, the lead actress from Star Wars, The Acolyte. Madeline Sandberg says, white people crying actually was the goal. Well... sweetheart, your show fell down and I'm not sure if you can tell what tear ducts are, but no one's crying. But I'm more than happy to listen to this.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal. It was the goal.
Well, when people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal.
Oh, that's it. Right, that's an old clip. Yeah, so mission failed. Your show failed. I still can't find your fucking rap video. Been looking for it. Okay, she's actually kind of cool. I like her. Here come the lies. Disney shills attack the critical drink. Here come the lies. Well, here I am. I got the lies for you right now. I'm sorry, but Disney really should not be making an Acolyte Season 2. Why not? I need more content. Should I make a video where I'm crying just to... I don't know, man. I kind of agree with Ambi here. Even a snake profile picture, she was kind of cool. The one character I liked. Yeah, well, sorry. Didn't have a lot of Twitter stuff to actually show you. Let's see what they got to say on this one. How do I read the comments? I don't know how to use Twitter. I'm old. Okay, gotta click on the... There we go. I have a free subscription for Disney Plus from Verizon. One can comment, okay. Last I'd look, woke movies / shows tend to flop in their revenue. Yeah, okay. None of these have any real points. Just don't cry to us when the show flops. Yeah, well, legit. Like, why are you mad? You get upset when your entire design was to make people cry. And we didn't want to watch your show, and now you're mad we didn't watch your show. Then again, trying to explain the logic from an insane person. I'm still trying to kind of get to there. I know I'm insane. I'm just not that insane. Fuck, can we find that rap video? Come on, it's internet. It's got to be around here somewhere. Won't be on Twitter, though. Was it Star Wars rap diss? Oh, please tell me it's here.
Last week.
Ah!
At the
There's another reactor like me. Is it this one? Discourse. Oh, we found it. Family friendly, guys.
I'm going viral on Twitter again. Open up the news, find some interesting things. 20 million views. Interview from 2018 with Trevor the King. When I was a teen, I was running from city to city to speak.
You put it back up.
My people cried in the theaters, finally releasing. White people cried they could see us as human beings.
Oh,
Trevor asked what I want the people to know. I said, white people crying, what's the goal? If they could take one thing, what would it be? I say empathy. Oh, that's why they mad at me. They splice lines, make hate.
You say that word, but I don't think you understand what it means.
Propaganda they spew, cause they conflate our pain with violence and try to weaponize everything that we do. The desperation of oppressors is rising, and now they holding on to any old thing they can use.
I feel like I need to clean my ears out.
And that tells me you afraid of the truth, huh?
No. We like the truth. If this is what your delusion of truth is, then goddamn, girl.
And now you're listening, I'm gonna tell you something fascinating. They spin and woke, bastardize it and appropriate it. Let's try to call, woke or something with creators. Speak truth to power, keep an eye out for you silly racists. And now they use it to describe anything they threatened by. Remember when Gambino put it in the zeitgeist? It was all about the people recognizing bigotry, the power of community, not fodder for your clickbait. Speaking of which, journalists, I'm looking at you. Did you forget it's your job to provide the truth? Spreading divisiveness, mining the metrics and data. See, you gave up all your efforts for money and views. And I can tell that the people are tired and the kids don't trust anything.
Man, how do I get my hair blown like that? That'd be great.
The future's coming and it's always the youth.
Black.
Don't let it get to my spirit. But I'm sick and fucking tired of suppressing my rage. 400 years of taking the bullshit to compartmentalize that my ancestors had to encage. If you don't confront the pain that you live with, you don't manifest as addiction, diseases, and hate. I've seen the infection.
Man, imagine going to Disneyland and you see this. Oh, baby. Oh, man. It's any wonder why nobody's like, oh, I love this. It's like the ego, man. Holy crap. It just resonates out of the fucking screen at this point. Holy shit, dude. That was a treat. It's already on the screen. That's a treat, though. Like the delusion of thinking that like you're so much better than everybody else. What? Because you're playing a crappy actor in a TV show? It's always hilarious when these insane delusional people try to pull this shit over everybody's eyes. You're the problem, not me. I have no accountability to my actions. Anything I do is better than what you will do. So if you don't like what I'm doing, that just means you're a racist. It simply means that like if I want to dance my ass off in a fucking pair of booty shorts and you think you don't want your kids to see that, then you're just a sexist asshole. Do you understand? Sorry, hang on. I got one more. If I want to twerk in front of your husband and he watches my booty shake, he's the problem. And you should dump his ass. It sounds retarded as fuck when you say it out loud, right? Oh no, it has nothing to do with the fact that maybe my show sucks, my attitude sucks, or, you know, maybe getting half naked in front of fucking minors is kind of fucked up to do. No, it has everything to do with you're racist. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. That's so fucking stupid. So tired of buying into this fucking bullshit from deranged lunatics who think that it's totally okay to do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not white. Tell me I'm wrong. You can dance around and do all this fucking dumbass shit as long as you pull the victim card out. Just saying. Anyway. This video is taking a little bit too long this time. The Acolyte going down, hey. I mean, who's surprised? Lesbian Space, which is soap opera, just wasn't cutting it in the Star Wars universe. My name is Ricka, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.